who did the actual manufacture, because those systems were they were designed by me, they were manufactured by my students. Okay? I tell them that, look, these things are for free. Go, liberate your people. The costs are not much. You understand me? Even you, okay? You can talk. You have seen my contact, so take it down. If you want, I have a number of cards. If you can have them. Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. It's very, very insightful. But like you said, 60% of the homes needed water heating. But I think when we are talking about sustainable development, it's part of it. But from my own view, that's my own view, I feel that as you're talking about lightening, I thought maybe that was why he brought the question, because most rural Africans needed this electricity in order to boost the SMEs, boost the LEDs for sustainability. And you know that this one is for household. I am not disputing that. What I'm trying to say is that in your next innovations, you have it in plan to elevate it so that, because that one people will buy into that one maybe. You understand? Because definitely in most of their tropicals area, they normally need cold water to bath and all this. That is my own view. I'm just trying to spoil you.
No, you are not. Let me say this. There are several market segments. You see that black map you saw there. It's not due to people who are manufacturing. Okay. My first step is, look, the system, for example, I put there was for my father, by the way. The model study was for my father, and 90-year-old. Okay? The one I've talked about, it was for my father. Okay? So, let's first liberate those. Of course, I can go on and have even for generation and all, for power generation and all that. But that's beyond the scope of this paper. That's a different story. My interest now is to liberate the 591 million Africans who are in total darkness at night. These others, you, him, those have no problem. They have no problem. You can go and spend, I don't know, in Uganda, you can go and spend 2 million shillings, 4 million shillings, go and spend 4 million shillings, and get your electricity. I don't care. You can afford it. But the 591 million people cannot afford it. That is my first step. Of course, from an engineering point of view and from a technical point of view, I can go on and use Starlink, yes, we will do that. And actually, some people are already, some of my students have an interest in that. Yes, I support them. But my priority at this time, okay, is the mass. That is the only way we can liberate ourselves from it. Yes, sir.
Yeah. What I just want to say is this: we're talking about sustainable development. You know, from our point of view, I've come to realize that if we don't involve the political class, it seems as if things may not likely work the right way. What I'm saying in essence is this: it's like for us to achieve a sustainable development, we cannot leave out the political aspects. In essence, is there any means by which we want to get maybe the government involved for us to be able to liberate this 591 million?
Well, you see, which government? See, if it is the Uganda government, I can tell you, okay, it is certainly supported. And they would what? I think they are sponsoring these things at our National University, Makerere University. They are sponsoring research in that area. Some other governments, of course, the oil rich, the oil-rich governments. We are actually in the renewable energy, we have a problem with them. Because for them, I think there is one government which says this is not an oil-rich government, it's a coal-rich government. They say, no, you people, you are unpatriotic. If we do renewables, what is going to happen to our coal? I won't mention which government, but there are such governments. Now, the enlightened governments, like for example, my government at home, okay? Support, they have zero taxation. That's why you need only $372 for that system. They have zero taxation on solar energy systems. But other governments are not like that. Now, my job as an engineering researcher, I bring these things, I do the costing, and put them. I tell them that, look, if you do that, if you tax, this is the cost. If you don't tax, this is the cost. So you, who is going to take? I'm not going to install these things in Nigeria. I'm not going to install these things in Gabon. I'm not going to install them in Lesotho. No. But I avail the information to you. Okay? So you, the Musoto, you go to your government and say, look, Professor Kanyashoki says this, and he has proof for this. So can you reduce taxes? You understand? So that is that is my point of view. As an engineering professor, I've done my part. Okay? I have availed information to the politicians. I have availed information to the public. Okay? It's up to the public to go and press their politicians that, look, this is the information that is available. Can we do A, B, C, D, E?
Thank you very much. We'll take a last question.
Okay. All right, thanks for a good presentation. But I've got some reservations. The causes of Africa being black, being blackened out. I do think isn't it deliberate? Because I would argue that it is deliberate. We've got all the resources. We've got all the lakes and dams. What prevents that to generate the electricity and the main grid? Secondly, if you are saying, okay, right, the recommendation to reduce taxes, it will trigger out some other aspect what tax does. Like maybe, like here in my country, people are dependent more on social grants. You reduce that, and then there has to be a reduction also on the social responsibility of the government. But then at the same time, lastly, I would say, why can't, rather than reducing taxes, say tax more the rich, so that they can, in your country we've got the lakes. Why can't you have, if you raise the taxes for those who can afford, so that you provide the grid to more of the rural areas?
First of all, this business of Africans blaming outsiders, okay? I think to some extent the outsiders have a role to play, yes, but ultimately it doesn't follow. Okay? It does not follow. Africans, see, knowledge is there. It's we are in darkness. Me, I'm telling you, look, this is the system. Okay? It's cheap. $150, you generate that. $150 is 1,500 rand here, or 1,650 rand. You generate electricity. You liberate yourself from this nonsense. You understand? That has nothing to do with whether Americans don't like you, whether it has nothing to do with that.
It does.
Okay? No, absolutely not. No. Absolutely not. My father now, who has this system, doesn't even know the Americans. No. If we can continue.
We shall continue. Not just come, we shall continue.
For my part, I'll add just one comment. I think one of the things, in order to understand the part of practical element of your work, but I think there's also a business angle to it. If it's not, if the work in itself is not business, if it's not profitable in itself, you need to think through how profitable it is, and also the quality of the power generated. How can we measure the quality against what is the other service providers? And those are issues that those are real issues that a business, like if you speak to an Igbo man, for instance, with this idea, and then they are able to calibrate the income against the cost against the profits, then you're talking about. But it's good to have ideas that have been practicalized at the very low micro level. But when it's expanded to 519 billion people, million people, is another ballgame entirely. So I think, however laborious our ideas are, we should also work, balance that against cost, against business models, and against quality as well. But in itself, I think it's, and also government intervention as well. What extent of, I think government needs to come into projects like this to support the initiative, even though we understand the capitalist mind behind all of these things as well. Thank you very much for your presentation. We really indeed enjoyed it. We will break for tea now, and we converge at 1:30.